Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Eli, the real estate guy, and thank y'all so much for tuning in to another video. All right, before we get started, go ahead and like this video, and if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe so that I know that you love the information that I am providing to you all, and this also helps for you to be able to see these videos as they're uploaded, and you'll get notified of whenever there is another video that is uploaded. This also helps out other people that are looking for this type of information. So before we get started, like and subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get started. So you see the title of this video, so you know what we're talking about, kind of. The title of this video is Open Your Eyes. Okay, now what I mean by open your eyes is I'm referring to whenever you're going to inspect a property, okay? Now, I understand it's very important to build rapport. You want to have conversation. You want to be able to flow. But it's also important that you're keeping your eyes open for any potential damage that could cost you money that you normally wouldn't see under normal circumstances. But because you're opening your eyes and you're being a lot more aware of these things, moving forward is going to be able to save you a lot of money, or you'll be able to adjust your offer based on this situation. So with that being said, number one, you want to look for cracks in the walls, okay? Now, yes, there's settling that happens with certain homes, but cracks in the walls, cracks in the cement, cracks in the ceiling, a lot of times those have to do with foundation issues, which could cost $7,000, $10,000, $15,000, depending on how bad the cracks are, depending on how bad the foundation work is, the foundation damages, it could cost you a lot of money. So you want to make sure that you're looking for this. And sometimes when you're speaking to the seller, you may say, hey, are there any foundation issues? Not that I know of. Always check, all right? Don't take their word for it. Go through, look in every room, check everywhere, look at the corners, look everywhere to check to see if you can see those cracks. All right, also going off of the foundation topic is, as you're walking, you want to feel if there's any uneven areas, right? So, for example, I went to a home today, and as I was inspecting it, as I was walking in the kitchen, I felt, as I got in one area, as we're talking, like, you know, as we're talking, I'm listening, but I'm also observing. And as I walk through, I'm like, oh, right here, this is uneven. That's a foundation issue that has to be addressed. Now, she did also mention that there was a leak that was from a copper pipe, okay, that was underneath the kitchen. So the leak may have caused some unevenness in the surface, but regardless, it may be other foundational issues that are going on. So with that being said, we do have to address that situation. So because I'm observing, because I'm looking at these different things, I was able to walk and feel up right here, foundation issue, okay? So number two, you want to look for unventilated rooms, okay? A lot of times there are add-ons that are added on to these homes, and they were not necessarily built to code, right? So you want to make sure that you're checking to see if every room has a vent. If it doesn't have a vent, it might not necessarily be added on to the county website. It may not have been registered with the county, so the house may actually have a larger square footage than what was originally thought. They might have added it, they might not have, but another thing to understand is if you're flipping this house or whatever it is, you're gonna have to run another vent to go into this room, okay? So of course, check with your county, city, whatever, so check to make sure that that's required, but I'm not gonna halfway do any house. So every room has to have a vent, okay? And so that's something that you wanna make sure that you're looking for as well. Do each of these rooms have an AC vent? All right, number three, you're gonna look for dips in the roof, okay? Now, sometimes it's not as big a deal, but there are times to where there was a leak that happened at some point, at some point, and it may have caused sagging in the sheathing. So the wood part that's under the shingles, it may have wet that and it may have rotted it out, right? And it may have caused that to dip. So the shingles themselves may look fine, but you may have to replace the sheathing that's under there, right? And so if an inspector comes through and does their thing, they're going to find that that's going to be an issue. Now, rarely would you be able to just dry that. A lot of times you're going to have to replace that sheathing. So you're going to have to remove that section of the roof, replace the sheathing, and then put on new shingles there to make sure that that's done properly. But you also got to look at it like this. Can you just replace that section, or is the whole roof so brittle? Did the roof need to be replaced anyway? Would it make sense to just do a new section when the rest of the roof is on its last life, right? So that's something that you got to also take into consideration, right? So things that could cause that leak are improper installation. Maybe the holes of the nails were too large. Maybe the adhesive that's on the shingles did not properly seal the shingles on. Might have been wind that came and flapped the shingles, had rain going in, and eventually it leaked in. There may be a skylight that leaked at some point, and over time it started to leak on the inside. There's so many reasons why that could happen, but that's something that you should look at. Also, there may be a dip because of foundational issues. The roof might have settled a little bit, and one of the rafters in the roof may be popping up a little bit, causing a dip. So that's something that you may want to look into. Also, there may be a broken rafter that came down and there's a dip there. So something to look into. So many reasons that a roof can dip. You want to make sure that you're looking out for that, okay? So that was number 3. Number 4, you want to look for bad patchwork, okay? So when I say bad patchwork, I'm talking about you look up in the ceiling and this one square area, it's a different texture than the rest of everything, and it looks like something happened there and they try to cover it up, right? Now, in some cases, it's not a big deal. It's just ugly and that just needs to be redone. But in some cases, might be trying to hide something. Oh yeah, there was a leak there before. We couldn't find what the leak was, so we just covered it up. Like, let's find what that leak was and make sure it doesn't leak again, right? So you want to make sure that you're looking for those areas, looking for those spots that just look a little weird, and ask, what happened here? Oh yeah, there was a leak that happened, but we got it fixed. Okay, cool. Did they really fix it? Was it a licensed plumber? Was it blah, blah? Get the details as to why there's a little square that's on the wall, why that little square is on the ceiling. Why is this little area just different from every other place? You want to know the answers to that, because in some cases you may have to end up replacing something, repairing something, and that's something that you want to account for whenever you're giving an offer on a property. So to run through those items again, check for cracks in walls and uneven wall ceilings, and check for uneven floors because it may be a foundational issue. Check for unventilated rooms because you may have to run a vent to that room as well, and it may be an add-on to the house, and you may have a larger home as far as square footage, which means that you could probably get more for the property. All right. Number 3, check for dips that's in the roof. It could be something as little as a joist was popped, or you could probably sister the joist, reinforce it, and raise it back up. Or it could be the sheathing is rotted and you need to replace this whole section. So that could be that. And number 4, check for bad patchwork, because there could be additional things that you may have to take care of. And if you don't account for that and you just think it's just a matter of retexturing that spot, you could be in for a surprise. So those are just 4 things that I would mention. Of course, there are many things that you're looking for whenever you are giving an offer on a property, but those are 4 things I felt are very important that could really cost you guys a lot of money whenever you are real estate investing. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to another video. Go ahead and like this video if you like the information I provided to you, and also go ahead and click subscribe so that you are notified of whenever I am posting another video. And if you have any questions that you all have about the videos that I'm posting, I'd love for you all to put that in the comment section below. And if there's another video that you all would like for me to make and talk about a particular topic, I'd love to cover it for you guys. And I can't wait for y'all to get y'all first deal, man. So thank y'all again for watching another video, and I cannot wait for you to get your first deal. See ya.